Today on the net, Obamacare and a US presidential campaign. Japanese web users rally to save a miracle pine tree that survived a tsunami. And a Greek website publishing good news only as an antidote to austerity. The November election is fast approaching and the US presidential campaign is in full swing. Up until now, campaigning has focused essentially on outgoing President Barack Obama's economic record and the alternative solutions proposed by his Republican opponent Mitt Romney. But the Mormon candidate's campaign team appears to have found a new weapon with which to attack the current White House resident, Obamacare, the famous healthcare reforms dear to Barack Obama's heart. The law was laid out in 2010 and last week the US Supreme Court voted to uphold it. Mitt Romney staunchly opposes the reform and in this video recently posted to his official website says it penalises Americans and will cost the country a great deal of money. He promises that if elected President of the United States, he will make it his #1 priority to have the law repealed, a law he believes will also have a negative impact on job creation in the US. His pledge has proved popular with numerous social networkers who've been voicing their support and in particular under the hashtag #FullRepeal. Twitter users, famous or otherwise, have been saying that the majority of Americans don't support the act. And the only way to prove this to Barack Obama will be by voting for his Republican rival in November. And these attacks on the key reforms undertaken during the current president's first term in office have not remained unanswered. On his website, Barack Obama urges supporters to send a message to Mitt Romney explaining the importance of Obamacare. In his campaign for re-election, he's also released all sorts of documents online illustrating the benefits this measure will have on the people of America and slamming the arguments put forward by the conservative camp. Rikuzen Takuta in northeastern Japan was one of the places worst hit by the earthquake and tsunami on March 11, 2011. Around 2,000 people were killed there that day, over 3,000 buildings were destroyed, and of the 70,000 pine trees planted along the coastline 3 centuries earlier to protect the town from winds and erosion, one single tree resisted being swept away. The local government is now working on preserving the so-called miracle pine, which now stands as a monument in this fishing village. And so local authorities have launched an appeal for donations via Facebook to raise money to help save this 240-year-old tree, which is now dying. The salt in the seawater is gradually rotting its roots. The aim then is to conserve this pine tree. It's a symbol of hope for the people of Japan following the catastrophe. It also features on commemorative coins offered by the government, on the new post boxes, and on an array of products launched to support the reconstruction projects across the region. However this particular story ends, the Miracle Pine's legacy looks set to live on. Rikuzen Takata's town council has gathered seeds from the tree and began planting them, in the hope the seedlings will one day reforest the coastline, which used to be a very popular tourist destination. A website devoted to good news and positive information to act as an antidote to the austerity measures in Greece, which is in the midst of a crippling financial crisis. The site's called Ola Kala, which means all's well, and the people behind it want to make the people of Greece realise that the outlook isn't necessarily quite as gloomy as it would seem. This Twitter thread called Need a Debit Card is advising web users to stop posting photos of their credit card online and compiles all such photos that have been published on the microblogging site. A warning to all those social networkers who don't realise that by posting photos of their payment cards, some not even concealing the number or the name of the card holder, they risk falling victim to crooks that specialise in online credit card fraud. A homeless polar bear wandering through the polluted streets of London. This video was produced by NGO Greenpeace as part of its current campaign to save the Arctic from oil drilling. The environmental organisation says the drilling is likely to have devastating effects on flora and fauna in this part of the world. The clip, aimed at raising public awareness of the issue, is narrated by actor Jude Law.